And here we go again. You're back with Range Anxiety, a TV. 30 years of all sorts of jiggery pokery. And speaking of which, I'm not going to leave him out of this one.
Nah, not like the last time. Hey, World. Hey, Marty. Hey, bud. Yeah, you did get some feedback, didn't you, on the last couple? I think the words were, you should shut up.
That's what you said.
I think you even mentioned that.
In the comments, once you've liked and subscribed, make sure the comments down there that you say whether I should shut up or not.
Yeah. Just go for it, people. Tell us what you really think.
Exactly. But today we're talking about something that goes back to your bogan roots, Paul, your boganism.
Yep.
Who are we talking about today?
We are talking about probably the only royalty I think we've got in Australia. I don't know, is he a Lord, Sir? Did he get any of that? No, anyway, we're talking about Peter Brock.
Peter Brock.
This is a Brock Commodore. Probably.
It is and it isn't.
It is. They based it on a Brock Commodore.
What was this based on, Paul, this car?
This is based on the VL, what's it called? Durif Red VL Group A Commodore.
Yeah.
It was a cracker in the day. This was like one of those bespoke, hand-built HDT Commodores. Bespoke. Very, very special word, because this was a real special one for one real particular reason, people.
What's the reason?
This polarised the community.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you know where this is going. Yes. This Commodore, this actual one, runs a polariser, much like what Brocky fitted to his own.
An orgone energy polariser.
Yes.
Made by Perry Integration.
Correct. It was a box of crystals, maybe some essential oils and a magnet or something or other, an aerial that picked up the cosmos.
Which is on the back of the car, by the way. There's a Peter Brock sticker with a lightning strike, and inside the lightning strike is wire that was the aerial.
In a very particular place. Didn't it have to line up with the Southern Cross at the midday sun, or I don't know.
Had to line up with that Southern Cross tap on the back of your neck.
That's it. It supposedly lined up all the molecules in this engine, so much so that this thing, you could not measure the performance gain because the technology didn't exist to measure what the polarizer was.
Holden tried to, if I remember at the time, and they came back and said, look, this does nothing, and he said that's because the equipment to measure it hasn't been designed yet. Brocky had an answer for everything.
Correct. So much so, the technology is that advanced, still can't be measured. Here we are, what are we talking, 30 odd years later, still in
nearly
front
30 years.
Yep, and it's still in front of what is known where we are.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Brocky himself, the man, he had to build a whole heap of cars for Holdens for racing purposes, for HDT over the years, and became a bit of a legend. Great driver. Mount Panorama was his stomping ground. I think it's 9 victories or something. I don't think anyone's got there yet.
No.
And probably won't.
Like Clownsy or Winter Cup or whatever their names are.
Exactly. But from a kid, he was the man that I used to watch, the man that I used to watch. I used to watch a lot of V8s.
Hey, Brocky in your A9X, mate.
That's maybe close to the era that I started watching, because being a young...
We can't mention the sponsor, but it was MHDT.
It was indeed. It was indeed.
Iconic cars, colours. I know our handle is 42069, but keep off the 420 on this show. It's a family show.
Exactly. But he made a bit of a myth and a legend and a bit of a, I don't know what he was. He was sort
of a freak
like,
show in the end.
He was a freak show in the end. But before he became the freak show, I got to meet him a couple of times.
Same.
I actually worked at Holden's, hence the Holden tattoo. I'll have to get the Holden tattoo out one day, just to show you.
Could you not? Yeah.
It's written. Nah, let's not go there. But anyway, I was at Holden's. I did my VIC certificate, Vehicle Industry Certificate, which is a pretty big deal when you're there. You go off and get presented that by some local bogan or the mayor of Salisbury or something like that, you know. My day, Peter Brock. I rocked up there and Brocky has actually signed my VIC certificate.
Have you still got it?
Still got it to this day. It's on one of these ones, it's in the pool room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in the pool room.
Where it should be.
Depends how you spell it.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, these things are phenomenal. This one's based on
tribute, really, but still
it's based on a car. So I don't even know if Brocky was Did he even sign off on these? No,
Well, Brocky wasn't around when this one
he
was
would have been
built.
long gone.
I think Peter was gone in 2005, and this is a 2010 car.
So he didn't even get to sign off on this one, people. But I think he would have been pretty happy.
Yeah, but this isn't a dealer option car. This was actually built specifically by HDT in the factory, or a lot of them were just dealer fitted with options and stuff like that. This was a proper Polariser HDT car, number 055.
Which is pretty special.
Yeah.
Well, 05 is, but an extra 5, just say you got a stutter.
I'm sure someone had 005.
Yeah.
And so this was probably like a
as
further
good
one
as,
down the
it's
line.
as close as you can get. And you've gone and made some tasteful mods, haven't you, mate?
Blower. Parrot,
I think
supercharger.
he would have been happy with that. Yeah. We've gone
No,
the blower.
Paul, family show.
Yeah, we've gone the blower, the cold air intake, the exhaust, everything. I think
It's
Brocky
sick.
would have been proud of this one. What did go on the dyno?
463 rear wheel killer wasp. It's got a little cam in it too, so it's quite a nice. And we got the big Harrop brakes on it. All of these things were options from HDT that this car was never optioned with, unfortunately. So we just filled it out, you know, when we got it, and put on all the right bits that it should have had.
Yeah. If there was an option out of the factory, which HSV I think had the rights to, I'm guessing Holden would have, or HDT would have done it as well, wouldn't they? It's just it's a bit
You
difficult.
could have optioned this blower on it when you bought it
From
brand new.
HDT.
Yeah. So, but we did it ourselves.
Yeah.
Later on, and HDT, I believe this is John Munro's car. John got in touch with Peter Champion, the HDT people, and they've kind of approved it so that it hasn't ruined the car's paleontology or whatever you want to call it. Now, speaking of paleontology,
Were we? Oh yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Carry on.
the Polariser. It's hidden there in the scuttle, and the idiot video photographer or whatever we call him will show us a picture of it. He loves being called that. I don't know why. I just think he's a nice guy. But
So he keeps telling
the
us.
Polariser, I've actually made one.
You did make one, didn't you? I remember there being a bit of a story about that. Didn't you make that with your kids? It was like a home.
It was supposed to be a school holiday project when my kids were younger, but I ended up having to make it myself.
Yep.
Paul, would you like to just take it over there and take the screws out, and we'll just show you what is in a Polariser?
We'll show you one from the inside out. Let's do it.
Okay.
But this is based on.
The original design is best I could find on Google. and, you know, I did some x-rays.
There are some plans and diagrams and how-tos, aren't they?
Take the lid
But
off.
yeah, is it going to let out any?
It has.
It's
You've
already
released some of the orgone energy. Now, I'll walk this up to the camera. You can see a little bit. Is that still in shot? Okay. Walked up to the camera, and you can see what we've got in here is I found, first we need the orgone crystals for the orgone energy.
Right.
Orgone energy is a very sexual thing. Brocky was a very sexual man, mate.
He was.
And I got these pet crystals that are orgonite.
Right.
Right?
And you got them where?
eBay. And I got the orgonite, and in here we have like a metal piece with 4 magnets glued under it, which need the magnets to align the molecules and the frequency.
Rare earth magnets?
Rare earth magnets. And then I have wire running through all little holes I drilled in the orgonite and
And an aerial.
an aerial. So I wired them together, and there's the aerial. So that, as you can see, when I come back into the camera, when all of the waves and radiation and bullshit lines up, it flows through this device, which you mount in your engine bay, and does pretty much nothing.
Well, is that true? Because you were pretty passionate about this.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, you fitted it to the Tesla.
I had it in my original rear-wheel drive Model 3, and it was scintillating. And then I... then I actually...
What did it do? What did you... Nothing.
Plenty. You just, you know. And then I gave it to you, and you made up this stupid bracket that mounted in the engine bay.
That bracket, I'll have you know, actually enables it to line north-south when fitted as close as I could to the middle of the engine, because I was concerned that it wouldn't do what we required it to do.
And what did you find it did for you?
Absolutely nothing.
Well,
The one thing that it did do was create a little bit of, that dude's an idiot.
you don't need a polarizer for that, Paul.
So I took it off.
And what happened since you've taken it off? Your car's running on 7 cylinders. There was smoke coming out of the engine bay where you've been working on it. Put it back on, and I guarantee you the misfire will go away. So
Stay sober, people, when you're working on your car, and we'll get back once we've refitted the polarizer.
bye.